Our text this morning comes to us from John chapter 15, verses 9 through 17. But I would just like to look at two verses from what we have read, verse 12 and verse 17. When we look at verse 12, it reads, "My command is this, love each other as I have loved you." My command is this, to love each other as I have loved you. And then in case maybe they didn't understand, in case there was maybe they weren't listening, he goes down and in verse 17, the final verse that we read for our text today, "This is my command, that you love each other." He is making it very clear, Jesus is making it very clear where he stands on this issue. We are to love each other. We have to find the better angels of our nature in this time that we are in. So how do we do that? Well, Jesus is telling us right here how to do it. He's saying, do it in love. But in order to understand that, what we have to understand is, what does that word mean, love? So let's talk about what love means, what Jesus is talking about here, and then let's talk about what he intends for us to do. Love. In every instance of pre-marriage meetings that I have had with couples, I ask, usually the very first question I ask is, why are you two getting married? And 100% of the time they will say, because we love each other. Okay? What does that mean? Now, this is where it gets a little bit different, because depending on the nature of their relationship and their understanding of love, a lot of times what I will get is how they make each other feel, how they just love to be in each other's presence, and how they just love to be around each other, and how it's a wonderful time. And that's when I get nervous, because that's when I have to explain, no, you're talking about the feeling of love. But in order for a marriage to work, you have to truly have the commitment of love. Look at traditional marriage vows. In sickness and in health, you're going to love this person when they're healthy, and if they should have some sickness, some illness in which you have to take care of them for the rest of their life, you're still going to love them. For richer, for poorer. You're going to love this person regardless of where the financial fortunes may take you. They may take you into great riches. They may take you into poverty. But as my wife always tells me, I'll live under a bridge as long as I am with you. Aren't I lucky? For better or for worse. You see, what I try to get most of the times, these are younger couples, to understand is that, yes, you do love each other, and yes, there is a way that you make each other feel, but that isn't going to be the case all the time. There are going to be those days where you may be sitting at the dinner table looking across at that person, and you are not having good thoughts go through your head at that very moment. But you still love them because you have the commitment of love. You have the commitment to work together, even though you're not necessarily on the same page right now. That's what love is about. And that's what Jesus, when he says to his disciples, I command you to love each other as I have loved you. That's what he's saying to them. He's saying to Matthew, the tax collector, and the zealot, I know that politically, you all are not on the same page, but you have got to come together. You have got to work together. You have got to love each other. He's saying to the fishermen, those that worked with their hands and those that didn't, that are all disciples, he's saying, you all may not come from the same world. You may not have the same worldview, but you have to come together. You have to love each other.